Hello, how's everybody doing? Got the mic working again today. Hopefully, it's not quite as crunchy sounding as it was the other day. It was a little hot the other day. Absolutely. Um, yeah, we're gonna take a couple minutes and wait for folks to get in. I do want to thank who's yeah, we only have 9 people in. I'll wait until there's more. How you doing? Oh, you asking me something?
No.
Oh, okay. My wife. Yeah, my wife just came in. Whoa! Slip on the cord. Don't slip on the cord. Hey, Silver Cobra. How you doing? Good to see you. 16 people. All right. Yeah. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. So I'm having a little double vision for the last 2 weeks or so. So if I blink a lot, or if it takes me a little bit to read the chat, forgive me, because I got an issue. I think it's a muscle on one of my eyes, so not a lot of fun. MP, cheers. Is it true you can tell when a Scalextric car is made from the details on the bottom of the chassis? I believe so. I mean, there is. Okay, so this is a Scalextric car. Um, this is says 3/7/21. It could be that is March 7th, 2021. Um, the fact that it was not released until very late in the year. I don't know. I haven't heard that before. But it's entirely possible. Some Carrera cars do have a little kind of a dial underneath that you can see that's molded into the chassis, and that does show you, I believe, although I'll be honest, I never learned to read it. That does show you when the car was made. I'm almost positive. I kind of think it has to for some reason. I could be wrong about that. Okay, got to get close here again. Yeah, watch out for the cord. Yeah, I slipped on I got power cords under my feet here. Hey Gotham, cheers. Thanks AG, Richard, John, Mac, Leslie again, DC, MP again. DeFingers, John, Argonaut, cheers, Reese. Hey Clem, Darren, very cool. Yeah, July 3rd. I mean, it could be July, Darren, but that it's entirely. Hey, Garth. Hey, Neil. Cheers. Um, Normally, the date or the month comes first, rather. So that would be March in European on the European calendar. Anyway, I don't know. I'm prepared to admit I'm wrong because I frequently am. Um, yeah, so, hey, Neil, 25 people. Holy crap. Thanks very much, everybody. Um, yeah, I don't know. Hey, Gary, cheers. So, what have we seen? We've seen the Carrera stuff, the Carrera 2022 releases, and well, we think we have. I'm not going to say that I'm right. I'm going to say that I got the price list, and yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of really interesting stuff just listed there, and like I said, I was pretty clear in my video. I think it's a pretty exciting list. I think they have a lot of really solid releases that they're going to go out with, and it's exciting to really see them. It's a really good catalog. It's just really strong. So tomorrow, I believe, tomorrow is the 10th, right? Yes, tomorrow is the 10th. I believe we get Scalextric releases tomorrow, right, guys? Any folks in the UK confirm that? Leslie, you confirm that? I believe that tomorrow, I think I'm not sure what time. I think it's midday UK time. So I believe I'll have access as soon as their photos go live, as soon as their website goes live with the new page. I believe I'll have access almost immediately to their product photos. So I'm going to set my alarm for, I don't know what time. I got to look and see. Leslie, almost all slot cars are made in China. Even the ones that claim to be made outside of China, I believe, are made at least in part in China, at least from Chinese parts. Injection molding might be done in China. Motors more than likely are done in China. The assembly, it's entirely likely on some cars is done somewhere in Europe, but I believe most slot car parts and nearly all slot cars are made in China. So there you are. Hey, Clifton, cheers. Yeah, so I believe tomorrow, I believe it's the 10th. I'd have to look at my my emails. I've gotten a couple emails from the Hornby guys and just kind of asking them about releases, that sort of thing. And I think they said the 10th. And I believe I'll have the chance to do an interview also with someone from Hornby. I don't know when. Hopefully sometime this week, their schedule permitting. I'm excited about that idea because I like to, putting releases in context, especially after we know what the releases are going to be. Because the good thing about Scalextric is, they do all their releases or nearly all their releases really early in the year. And yes, we've had some issues with, or they've had some issues with delivery of some cars. I don't fault them in the least for this. There's nothing they can do about this. Shipping is a nightmare. I won't go on and on about this, but raw materials are a nightmare. Shipping is a nightmare. There's just a lot of things that have conspired to make it really, really crappy for every, small to medium-sized company to try to do business. So the good thing about Scalextric, like I said, is they go all in real early with what we're going to see for the year. And that's really cool. I'm appreciative of that, that we as hobbyists get to see what their plans are so soon in the year. I think it's absolutely fantastic that they do that. And I'm going to email probably Maurizio. I might do that tomorrow. I'm actually, excuse me, guys. Hey, Beatnik. Hey, Chris. Mike and Cheryl Newell. Cheers. So I'm hoping that if I can email Maurizio, I can find out maybe when he's going to be doing announcements for the year. I don't know. They haven't talked to me about that. Also, I don't know about SCX. I'm hoping that SCX has some news fairly soon. I would expect it to be, again, a very limited catalog. I'm not expecting 40 or 50 cars from SCX. I'm expecting a few, hopefully some US cars. I've made some suggestions for some US cars, so hopefully that's what we see. Not just for 132, for 143 as well, because that's a really big part of their product line. They make some really excellent 143 cars. If you've never tried them, when they're back in the market with them, please do try them. They're really nice, and they drive really well. The track is really nice. It's very, very similar to Carrera 143rd scale, the Go track. But the cars are much, much better, in my humble opinion. They drive a lot better. They have a real guide on them, not a guide pin. And the molds are much more accurate as far as I'm concerned. Finer detail, that sort of thing. Illinois Smart Race, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Classic and Slot Car, I really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody showing up. 57 people. Holy crap, folks. We've been on for 10 minutes and already so many people. Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. While we got before we get really rolling in the conversation here, if you want to support the stream, give me a thumbs up because that helps Google push the stream, the video on demand out to people. So it really means a lot to me if you're here and you like what I'm doing. You give me a thumbs up for the stream because Google, YouTube, same thing. It'll help push that out to folks that might be interested. So, hey, Steve, cheers. Hey, Neil. Hey, John, cheers. Wow, a lot of new people. Dodge Monaco or Fury slot car. Yeah, you never know. I would wonder. I don't know about a Monaco. I don't know about a Fury, but that would seem like a really good thing. I mean, there's a couple different people I would think might have an interest in doing something like that. Pioneer pretty much jumps to mind immediately, and they've done some really awesome American themed slot cars, and you never know what Scalextric is going to do. I don't know yet. I just looked on their site. Jonathan, hey, cheers, Jonathan. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Black Friday Warehouse. Holy crap. Larry Dyke. Jim Greathouse. Thanks. Reese, thanks for showing up. Darren asks, do I really think... Okay, so we got a couple questions here. I'm sorry. Darren asks, do I really think Hornby is going to keep in the kind of hobbyist, the toy kind of vein with their slot cars? I do. I don't see that changing. They've had several attempts at making let's just call them, for shorthand's sake, slot it type cars, right? So cars with metal parts is what I'm talking about. I don't expect them to do that again. It was not successful. I think they should keep on doing what they do best, making good entry-level cars for the broadest possible market, because that's the broadest possible market. They really need to appeal to a very large segment of their own market primarily, as well as to the U.S. market. So for those reasons, I would expect them. Now watch tomorrow they go whole hog with a hobbyist line. They revive the pro line name or whatever. I really don't think that'll happen, folks. I really don't think that'll happen. Smart Race. Hey, Gustavo. Hey, Shane. Smart Race asks, hello, Martin. Cheers. Smart Race again, sorry. How big do you expect the Advance 2.0 to be in the U.S. market? In case questions are allowed tonight. You're always welcome to ask questions. Smart Race, it's Mark, right? Forgive me if I'm not remembering your name right. I'm terrible with names. I do not expect them to have SCX. Talking about SCX now. I do not expect SCX to have much, if any, product available for Advance for the U.S. market. I do not know at all what they're going to do for this year now. I know initially in what they offered to the dealers that they offered them to. The dealers that I know of that they offered initially to are Electric Dreams. I believe Great Traditions is putting in an order. I believe LEB is putting in an order. LEB and Great Traditions don't have the stuff yet. Don't say, hey, Dave told me to order the stuff. Where is it? And bug them and whatever else. I believe they're going to have them. Electric Dreams already does. So what they initially offered, what SCX initially offered to the dealers that they're going to start with, and they're going to start slowly with dealers to make sure that they can fulfill orders easily. They offered only 132 and 143 analog, okay? Because there was more of that available to them in their warehouse. It's the broadest possible offering. Nice low price. Well, nice competitive price. We can talk about prices a little bit later. But so I do not expect them to offer much, if any, Advance, which is their digital system, SCX's new digital system. I don't expect them to offer much, if any. I could very well be wrong for this year. Maybe they roll it out at the very end of the year, but initially, all they offered was analog 143 and 132. That's it. So there we are. Hello. Yes. Great, Mark. Great. Glad I got that right. Like I said, I'm terrible with names. I'm really sorry. From Brazil, Alfredo Nelson Capucci. Obrigado. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Yeah, so I don't know. Holy crap, 70 people. Goodness gracious. So I don't expect them to, SCX again, to offer much, if any, digital. They had some cars in 143 and 132. They had some track accessories, some of which I believe would work for digital, for Advance. And that's really it. There were no sets available as of yet, but like I said, that could entirely change soon. Yeah, no sets in either scale, and no digital as well. So I repeated myself several times now. Sorry. Euro Annie, cheers. Gary McQueen, cheers. Thanks for showing up, Gary. I really appreciate it. Charles Panella, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot. 74 people. Great. Absolutely outstanding. So I am going to talk about something that did arrive this week. And thanks to Oscar from, can we get that there? Look at that. SlotInvasionUSA.com. Go visit those folks. Go say hi to Oscar. Tell him that I sent you, or not, it's okay. He did me a massive Can 143. Yes, it can run on your Scalextric Sport Track. SCX compact can. So Oscar from Slot Invasion US sent me a whole bunch. How do they look on there? Yeah, they're a little. There we go. Turn them. A whole bunch of stickers. I cannot thank him enough. I absolutely cannot thank him enough. It really, yes. And he sent me, exactly, DeFingers, you're right. He sent me those banners as well. He's really doing a lot to support me, but more importantly, his support for me is like a tiny fraction. He's doing so much to support, Slot Invasion is doing so much to support the hobbyists now, with excellent replacement guides, with excellent, and MP Slot Car had just done a really nice video about, it was a pod replacement. Please go follow MP if MP is still here. MP, say hi again, and I'll make you a mod so you can post a link to your page. But please follow MP Slot Car. He's kind of in that group of folks. Me and that Slot Car guy, and MP and Boone is in there. And of course, Harry, you got to support Home Racing World. There's kind of a group of us that are all kind of working together to an extent, to a greater or lesser degree. But I appreciate any hobbyist who wants to really get out there and do their own vlogging. It's not an easy thing to put yourself out there. I mean, there he is. There he is, MP. There you go. MP is now a mod. please put a link, MP, to your YouTube in the chat. Everyone, please go sub to MP. I know Massimo is his name. He's a guy from Toronto, and he does really nice YouTube reviews. Really good-natured guy, and got a lot of interesting things to say. He's funny, and we got to support each other. We're a community in this hobby. This hobby more so than a lot of other hobbies, and we absolutely need to be supporting each other, because that's how we're going to grow. Is we get a big community all together, and we support the people out there doing projects, doing doing their thing, whatever their thing is. It's important really to support each other. So there you go. MP just put that in there. There you go. Yeah. So hey, Mark. Cheers. Anyway, Max said, "Oh, Pioneer is doing a javelin and a CUDA. Interesting." So, hey, Sean. When will you start a YouTube group? Hey, JMSR. Cheers. We will start doing videos fairly soon. Sean. I don't think we're going to live stream though, because I don't. If you do a chat and then you live stream it, the problem is you have no control over your live stream. You can't keep out trolls. There's a bunch of things you can't do with it. So maybe we'll get like a discussion get together and then upload it, that sort of thing. I don't really know, but we are going to start doing. I promise you, we are going to start doing some live streams together. There you go. Yes, JM. I did see his Boone's series on painting track. It definitely looks better to paint a track. I mean, let's face it. And no one does scenery like he does. The videos are really, really excellent. Yeah, so you got to go over to Boone's to see that, because anything I ever do here is just going to be a pittance compared to what a real scenery guy is going to do, and I am not that. Yeah, Sean, I agree, Sean. I don't like. Maybe it's just a control thing. I'm a little nervous about doing a broadcast. I mean, maybe we'll try one. I think we did one that was like a test. I'll try one for sure, and see how it goes. It's just me being nervous about technology. I'm old and all, so got to start sliding across the floor. I got to start sliding. Watch. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'll do the MP entrance. Hey, everybody. Oh, that was lame. Cringeworthy. Well, I'll do from the bottom because I'm so short. How you doing? That was awful too. Anyway, I don't have. I got cement floors here at the garage. I can't really slide. And normally I'm wearing flip flops, but I'm wearing shoes because it is freaking freezing in my garage. It is like in the 20s outside. We're having an ice storm today in Pennsylvania. Anyway, hey, Travis. Okay, now everybody got to follow Travis too, because Travis is here, and we all got to follow Travis. If you haven't followed Travis, you really need to follow Travis as well. Called the Tom Cruise, exactly, yes. Because everyone confuses me with Tom Cruise naturally. We also haven't heard from, who haven't we heard from? We haven't heard from NSR about their 2022 releases. We haven't heard from SRC about their 2022 releases, although maybe Travis knows a little more about that. I don't know though. I do know. Oh, so yeah. So what I'm going to be, I get distracted so easily. I got all flustered. So thanks to Oscar from Slot Invasion. Again, Slot Invasion US.com. He sent me a whole box of stickers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell these in, I don't know, packs of 20. I don't know. I'm gonna sell these for kind of a fundraiser or whatever. If you want a little decoration for the side of your track. I don't know. Are these clear? Anyway, I'll do a video about that. But I got a box of them here. I think there are 1,000 in here. So yeah. So I'm gonna be doing some warm in Pennsylvania. No, it's it's not below zero. It is not below zero. It is not below zero in Pennsylvania. Well, it's below freezing. So I'll do a video about selling these. Again, thanks a lot to Oscar. And I'll mail them directly to folks. I haven't really thought about it yet. I was flabbergasted to see this box is like a brick to show up. Hey, there's Oscar. Thanks, Oscar. There's Oscar Acevedo from, as I said, where did I say? Slot Invasion US. Sorry. Okay. There we are. White background with a clear gloss. Oh, okay, got it. Hey, Dean, cheers. Yeah, we haven't seen any NSR news. I'm really interested to see the McLaren. I can't describe to you. They did this car that we all saw, right? And it's the black and gold, mostly black and gold and red McLaren 720S. They're building, I think, 99 of them, and you had to have like signed up to buy one. So now, but what was kind of lost, I think, it looks like these are going to be bespoke cars. These cars will be built according to the specs that the customer wants, like a real race car, which I think is just it's not just a limited edition car. Throw that out. It's not just a really, really highly desirable release of the first from that new mold. Throw that out, which is an excellent idea. It's gotten so much attention, this new car. Not only that, he's thrown out an entirely new idea as far as how to make a slot car. They're going to assemble them, and I think I'm right about this. If Andrea is in the message, please let me know. If they're going to assemble them, I believe according to customers' request, according to the customer specs. That just blows me away. That takes the idea. Hey, Rusty, cheers. Yes, Travis is right. They're based in Italy. That takes the whole idea of making a limited edition car. It's not just a limited edition. I think the idea of calling something a limited edition, it's really not that interesting to me. I kind of wish people would do exactly what Andrea at NSR has done and make a truly limited edition car that is built to customer specs by hand. It makes you feel like you're supporting the company directly, which I know is kind of a weird thing to say because you're buying a car from a small company. Duh, of course you're supporting the real company or the company directly. But they are making something for you by hand the way you want it, right? So you don't have to necessarily like buy the car and then replace everything inside because it's not the way you want it built, because it's the way that they built it for you. So I think this is a really excellent idea. And every company that could do this, I'm excluding SCX, I'm excluding Carrera, and I'm excluding Scalextric. All the small companies that could do this should do this. It is just the best marketing idea, and it's the way to directly connect with their customers. I mean, how cool could you say, oh, well, this was built by MSR just for me? That's freaking awesome. Oh, sorry. JM, I didn't see. Yes. Okay, so JM, Scalextric does have the iRock. They made that. That was my suggestion. Um, that was my suggestion when I was still there, to do the iRock Z, the 86 body. Why don't they release a white car? Because white kits don't really sell that well. Uh, that's I've talked about this in previous videos, and despite what hobbyists think, um, and the answer I always get is, well, Dave, everybody I know buys one. Well, unfortunately, everybody who races slot cars, maybe 24 people. I'm just generalizing here, and I'm not like attacking you and saying that you're being stupid or whatever. I'm just saying, I worked for 3 companies, and I consult for several others. White paintable slot cars have been tried numerous times. They just don't sell very well. The Carrera cars of tomorrow that we did, that were the white body cars, I essentially had to give them away. The last, I think there was 50 or so. I'm not exactly sure. There was a time right after I started a Carrera, when Carrera had done the COT. I think it was the Dodge and the Chevy bodies in a white car, right? And we couldn't sell them, even at a 20 off discount. And I think we had them at a 30% off discount. It's discounted at dealer cost, direct to dealers, because we didn't sell to consumers. And a direct to dealer cost might have been $12, $14, something like that, and they still wouldn't buy them. And we had to essentially beg people to buy them. And I think we actually sold the last bunch. It might have been at a loss. It might have been just to get rid of them, because we wanted to get rid of the SKU, the part number in the system. So that's just one example. There have been other examples where white kits do sell very well, or do sell well according to the people that sell them. It's one of the lower volume things that companies who do sell white kits sell. I know this from experience with SCX. We sold unpainted white cars. Carrera, Scalextric, Slot It. I know most distributors who sell 1/32 scale slot cars, and I've talked to them about this, and everyone says the same thing. White kits don't sell very well, but hobbyists demand them, so it's kind of something that people do just to kind of give hobbyists kind of what they want. But generally speaking, they don't sell well. What I do believe sells well now is a solid body car, like a number of hobbyist companies have started to do. Polycar do the monoposto cars in all those different colors, and NSR, I believe, have done it, and Scale Auto, I believe, have done it. And I believe that, Pioneer makes a lot of different things, and all very well, by the way. The stuff is excellent. They do white kits, which for them, I'm told, sell quite well. Okay, fine. And so it's not something that the larger companies do that makes a lot of sense financially speaking. It may make sense from a marketing point of view, but it really, really doesn't oh, hey, there's a long thing from Rusty here. Hey, Clint, cheers. Rusty, I own, build, Using model kits. Yes, Rusty says he builds model kits. The guys that I've raced with do the same thing. My friends, if Clem is still here, he's done a lot of really nice kits. Yeah, I mean, I've done a few. Some guys have built some for me as well. And yeah, look, I'm not saying it's something that hobbyists don't want. I'm saying in the volume that the larger companies really want to sell in, it just doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying, guys. Would probably be difficult to build slot cars after consumer. From a legal perspective, it's not real car. Companies deal with all sorts of licensing. Yes, Smart Race. Yes, Mark. But here's the thing: is I'm talking about the internal parts in a car. I'm not talking about the decoration on the car, because you're right. The decoration on the car, Porsche, for example, if people are doing a licensed Porsche does not allow certain decorations on a car. I had tried this with pretty much every company I worked for. When I worked for SCX, we tried to do golf cars. We didn't have the golf license, so we weren't allowed to do golf Porsches. When I worked for Carrera, the same thing. Even though they have an excellent relationship with Porsche, Carrera was not allowed to do fantasy liveries on cars. When I worked for Scalextric, I heard the exact same thing from the folks that did the licensing, that did the discussions with Porsche. So I'm talking about the internal parts in a car. I should have been more clear about that. That's my fault. What I meant was the internal parts, not the decoration on the car. You're right. I should have been more clear about that. Steelers win. Yeah, well. Pioneer has DPR doors. Are the two companies related? I would direct you to the Pioneer community and to Jules. The two companies are not related. Pioneer is a distinct company, and Scalextric is a distinct company. There is no. Oh, MP just sent me a post. Cheers, MP. There is no. There's no direct link between the company. Mainly because most of the people that work at Scalextric don't know who anybody is outside of Carrera and maybe SCX. The smaller hobbyist companies really don't affect much what the larger toy companies do. I mean, we all know them, but they just don't know them, like Slotted and NSR. And I mean, they're key. Like they're big deals to us, but they're not big deals to the large companies. There are people at those companies who do know them, but the top executives have no idea who the hobbyist companies are. No idea. See any advantage to painting my Carrera track? It would. Painting a track, a couple people have asked about painting tracks here. Painting a track, because my wood track is flat latex. I do know, well, I believe when you paint a track surface, it will definitely change the grip. I don't know, I know paint will stick to Carrera. I know it'll stick to Polycar. I don't know how well it'll stick to Scalextric, because Scalextric is a soft plastic track. I don't know how well it'll stick and stay. Let's say that. I believe it would give you a grip increase. I haven't ever personally tried to paint track, so I don't know if it increases grip. I don't want to make it out like I'm a expert on this. I'm absolutely not. Ask on Boone's video. Ask if he, or maybe he said this in the video and I missed it, about whether he felt that it improved grip. It's entirely likely that it would, but again, that's just a guess. There you go. So JM mentions, yes, he felt that it did increase grip. So there you go. Who else? JM says, I love Carrera's classic stock cars. Yeah, they've done a really good job with that mold, or with those molds, I should say. Those molds were made in early 2000s, 2001, 2002. Harry would know. because Harry Wise from Home Racing World, you got to follow Home Racing World here on YouTube. He helped get those cars made, and he's done more for that line of cars than anybody else, period. He's suggested liveries on those cars for more than a decade now, and he helped get them information about the shapes, and he's done a lot. So if you like the Carrera stock cars, the high wing cars, the Wing Warriors, you have Harry to thank, because he's the one that got all those rolling. And hey, Mark, cheers. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. So those, they've done a lot. Carrera has done a lot with those releases, just like Scalextric has done a lot with the Trans Am releases. And yeah, I mean, they've had those releases in the catalog now, the Trans Am stuff, just like the Carrera cars have been around. The stock cars have been around for a long time. So have the Trans Am cars. Someone asked in a recent video, they wished, it was probably in my the news video from 2 days ago, whether I thought that Carrera would ever do Trans Am series cars. I really doubt that, because the design director at Carrera, who is a friend of mine, and I had talked about that extensively, and he never wanted to do the same types of molds that basically everyone else does. He calls them Me Too cars. I want to do it too. I want to do it too because I saw that, someone else did well with these cars. So, I'll do them too. So he's physically repelled by the idea of doing the same cars that every other company has done, which is why you see Carrera doing so many kind of oddball different cars. They do their own thing and always have, which I think is great for the hobby, frankly, because if everyone, did the same cars, it'd get really boring. So I really doubt that Carrera would ever do Trans Am cars. This was based on, many conversations I had with the design director, who's on the board of directors, and who's one of many voices about what gets made. Should they do them? Probably, because they would sell here. They would not sell in Germany at all, though. That's a misconception that, a lot of hobbyists have, that the U.S. stuff sells really, really well. Everywhere it doesn't. In Europe, what you'll find is if you go to a hobby shop or a slot shop, and I've been to a few in Germany, what you find is the U.S. stuff is always on the bottom shelf, always sold for cheap, because nobody knows what it is or nobody really wants it there. Take your pick from, that argument. And some stuff that was bringing fairly high dollars here in the U.S., even at the time when I was last in Germany, which was, oh God, I don't even know, 2015, something maybe. The Carrera American releases were, and even the Can-Am stuff was selling really, really crazy cheap, because nobody in Germany really knew what it was. Trust me, I'm telling the truth on this. Oh, a bunch of new comments here. Wing Warrior set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Steve. The Wing Warriors, 2001. There you go. And they're the same molds. They've been cranking out the Wing Warrior molds since the early 2000s. And they've been, talk about making money from a mold, for goodness sakes. That's absolutely fantastic for them. Cheers, everybody. 91 people. Absolutely outstanding. Strong Island. Hey, Raymond. Cheers. Thanks for showing up. Again, if you're in the chat or you're watching a video, you're watching the live stream today, and you want to give me a little support, you can click give me a thumbs up. That helps YouTube show the content to other people who kind of like the same thing. I really appreciate all the likes. Yeah, 47 people so far have done that. It really means a lot. It really does. I'm not just saying that. I really, really appreciate it because, I want the discussion to go beyond just the few people that are in the slot car hobby. Really, really want to grow it. Hello, Eric. Hey, Canyon. Cheers. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. So yeah, we still have a lot of releases, obviously, because we've only heard from Carrera so far. We have a lot of interesting stuff to come. I'm really hoping that, because like I said, I think it's tomorrow that we get the Scalextric stuff. Let's check the website. I have access to a website of theirs, which gives me, it's kind of like a business website, I guess you'd say, where, no, nothing yet. It shows me the pictures in galleries for each year going back to 2018. Not just for Scalextric, but all their brands. So, it's a really cool thing. Let's see if they have any new videos in here. Nah, it's the same videos for 2021. Oh, well. Yeah, so I think Smokey and the Bandit kit. It would be cool to see. So Smokey and the Bandit. Technically, that car from Carrera was not a Smokey and the Bandit car. The last one was and I've done a video about this, was an older video, so you'd have to scroll back down through. But it's a video I did about the gold Trans Am, and I mentioned where the gold Trans Am came from. And I also mentioned the black Trans Am, the last one they did, where the driver has a blue shirt and the plate says eastbound. That was what I was working on the moment that Carrera fired me, that they let me go on a Tuesday. I forget exactly what day it was, but yeah, so I hit send on the email, which the email was going to the design director, Gunther, and I spec'd the color of the car and the way the eagle should be looking on the hood, the Phoenix on the hood, rather, and the color of the driver's shirt, which is blue, and the plate, which is eastbound, which is from the song. So technically, that was not a Smokey and the Bandit car. The first release was not a Smokey and the Bandit car either. That's why they don't say it. It's an expensive thing to do to get a license, and they didn't get the license for it. So Carrera, that is. So it's just a black Trans Am. Yes, it looks like Burt Reynolds. That's obviously intentional, but it's not a Smokey and the Bandit car technically. So that has yet to be done ever, technically. Just like the white, hold on a second. Scale set because of the size and the price. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, cheers. Just like this car. Hey, Slot Blog, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. This car, which many of you will recognize, and you will think, because it's the Colorado license plate, this popular opinion says that this was from what? I should play the music from oh yeah. This popular opinion says was the car from what movie? Don't have it in the chat yet. There's a bit of a delay. This is not a car from Vanishing Point. Yes, it is exactly what the Vanishing Point car looked like. Down to the plate, it is not from Vanishing Point. They did not have the Vanishing Point license. This is not a Vanishing Point car. Just being technical about it. It is just a white Challenger. Movie licensing is a difficult thing to get. It's an expensive thing to get, especially for a one-off release. And unless you think you're going to be able to sell masses and masses of a single car, or you have a set, you can't get a movie license. Cue the Jeopardy theme. That's what I was thinking of. The theme from Jeopardy. Anyway. Slow fingers. Yeah, well. Cheers, Mark. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for showing up. Bouncy front end. People have complained. Let's take this, shall we? Let's shall. What's going on here? What is going on here, folks? Was it just braid? It was just braid. I think this is the first time I've ever had this car on the track. I mean, it seems nice and smooth to me. Mine's smooth. Yeah, I don't know. Mine's smooth. Gotta say. Okay, so hello there, Rocco. Yeah, it could be. It could be, Sean. It could be. Where are the bulldozers? Yeah, right. Fly trucks. Fly has done a lot of trucks. I don't know that what we'll see is, Fly have teased a Ford Transit racing van, if you can believe that. So maybe they'll do those. I mean, they have shown that they're going to do them. Let's do a couple laps with this guy, shall we? This is the, what's this? I don't know why that got hidden. Yeah, I don't know why, Rusty. It's fine. Formula E car from Scalextric. The Tech... Uh-oh. Whoa, boy. Wow. Oh, this is a... Whoa. This is a slim can motor. This car has all kinds of speed. Where in the hell? There it is. Tire truing 101. Sandpaper. Car. Put sandpaper on track. Put car on track on top of sandpaper. Lift back end of car slightly. Hold down the back end and sand tires. Thus endeth Slot Car 101. Getting a little bit of meat off of there. Not much. This car helps if you put it in the slot. Slot Car 101. Put it in the damn slot. This car is super slippery. Oh, that's better. Definitely better. This is a slim can. This car is fast. This car is fast. Even on the Polo car track, it's kicking the back end out. These tires might be pretty hard. Can you hear that? It's thumping. So either the tires are not perfectly round, which is certainly possible, or the wheels are not perfectly round, which is probably more likely. And we got a bunch of rubber off there. We got some rubber off there. And now the car sticks a little better. This is the Tech Cheetah release of the Scalextric Formula E. I think this was the first Formula E that they did. This car goes like hell. And it's got a magnet. Yes, it still has a magnet. It's still, the magnet doesn't feel like it's, it doesn't feel like it's overly holding the car down. The really nice thing about this is because, and hopefully you all can hear me because the wireless mic that I just bought, because this is a car that's supposed to have a whole lot of downforce, right? A magnet in this car, I kind of feel is appropriate. Probably faster than real Formula E's. Feels like I'm at the dentist. Explain the different voltages. The reason for different voltages. I'm not that great a driver. I think it's especially with newer drivers. What you should have is you should have lower voltages so they can enjoy the racing a slot car a little more. If you can only have the car at full throttle for maybe a split second, and you're going around the track and going around the track and going around the track, and you're only giving it a tiny little blip of throttle every once in a while, what is the point of racing at 14 volts, right? So if I had this up to full power, this is at 9 volts, okay? And you think, well, why are you racing at such low voltage? Why can't you turn it up? Well, I could turn it up, but the car already comes off basically anywhere I want it to. Why turn the power up? I'm not going to go any faster. I'm just going to come off more, or I'm going to be able to use the full throttle a lot less, right? So to have the power turned down, I can use the cars more to their full, because I'm like full throttle the entire way. And then like right there, I'm full throttle. And then the whole way around there, I'm full throttle up to right about here. So if I had more power, I wouldn't be able to use it. So why have more power? That's the point. And I get why you're asking, because people don't understand or don't agree with me, which is fine if they don't want to agree with me. I really don't care. What I do down here is for me. It's not for really anybody else. And most of the best racers that I know don't race at 14 volts. They race at 10 volts or 8 volts. And trust me, those folks are crazy fast drivers. So what do we have here with this car? This is a really, really nice mold. There's so much detail on this car. This is a Formula E car. Travis had done a really, really nice video about, yeah, no problem, Leslie. Travis, that slot car guy, had done a really, really nice review of this car. There's so much detail on this car. The finish on this car is incredible. Now, this is supposed to be one of the cheaper series of cars from Scalextric. Comes in a cardboard box, right? This is not a low quality car. There's nothing cheap about this car. It has all the shapes and the color that I would expect it to, the finish that I would expect it to. I mean, the motor is that's the top of the motor, I believe. Well, there's no interior there really. The driver is kind of, oh boy, that's way overexposed. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is a really, really nicely detailed car. It runs really, really well, as you just saw. Why? Yeah, exactly. The fingers. Like, I mean, it's just, if you don't like Formula E and you have something against Formula E, look, I get it. But as far as a slot car goes, this is an excellent, excellent slot car. For home set folks, for people like me, if you just want to enjoy racing with your kids or with your buddies, there isn't a lot to break off on this car, which is really nice. Not because I feel like they've omitted things to make it cheaper, but because the car itself just doesn't have a lot of kind of breakable kind of external detail. They've just done a really, really solid job with this car on a series, frankly, that makes a lot of sense to do a slot car of, and maybe more sense than most other, because it is electric after all. But I think it's fantastic. Hey, Clifton. Thank you very much for showing up, Clifton. I really appreciate it. Who else? Just checking back in here. Hey, Mario. Cheers. Yes, Mario has Polycar. Hey, Michael. Thank you very much for showing up. Yeah, I mean, the Scalextric car is. This is just. It's even got underside detail. I don't know if you can see that. Well, not really. Well, sort of. I mean, it's got the Formula E logo, which is kind of nice. It has diffusers on the back. It's got under here, under here, on the bottom of the chassis. There's like the what are these called? Not Venturi, but there's kind of like channels for the air to come out. So there's a lot of detail here. I believe you can chip this as well because there's a space here to put in a chip. So it's just there's a lot of detail here on what you would think would be a low detail car. That's not a low quality car. Yeah, the ground effects. Hello, Mr. Orange Blue Streak. Cheers. Okay, now, so let's talk about this guy. This was the newest, and this is going to be way overexposed. I'm really sorry about this. This is going to be this was the newest Polycar Toyota or Subaru BRZ. Let's see if my eyes can focus. And yeah, it even says it on the bottom. This is a race livery. This is from Goodwood. Again, it's pretty washed out. Hello, Thomas. Cheers. So hello, Blue Goo. Cheers. Thanks for showing up. This does have this little door here that you can take off. I don't know if there's a Carrera compatible chip that will fit into there, but there you go. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't do digital racing here. I want to have an analog track because I can use the broadest possible range of cars on my track. So I don't do digital. I'm sorry. So this was the Polycar Toyota. It's the Goodwood livery on the car. This is a racing car. So, I mean, it's got two guys in it. But I know if Gary's still here from the Tailspin guys. Hey, cheers, Mark. I really appreciate it. Yes, there is a co-driver. There is a what do you call it? COVID brain navigator. There we go. It's a really nice car. It's got slotted tires the whole way around, and it's got a slower motor. I believe this is a 16K motor. So it's not technically. I mean, yes, I guess it would be a rally car. Yeah, this guy. There we go. It does have front lights. It does have an adjustable magnet. The lights are actually pretty bright, as you can see. So, see if I can build up a little speed and watch it come off, maybe? Nope. Oh, it slid. Okay, so here you go, full speed. This is 9 volts. See if it comes off. Nope. 9 volts. The tire's cleaning off, maybe? Get a little more grip. Yeah, it's 9 volts and going around full speed. Oh, it just came off. So we got a couple laps there before it came off. Anyway, yeah, I mean, so this is part of their home racers series. They come in a little cardboard box, like you see here, and these should be a little cheaper than. Hey Ray, cheers! I really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. This is one of their home set cars or home racer cars. It does have a little slower motor in it, but again, not a. Yeah, no, thank you, Clint. Not a super fast car, but definitely a car that I think is good value for money. The finish on this, and you're not going to be able to tell this with the really terrible cam I have here, but the finish on this is really, really excellent. Hey, there's Gary. Yes, he races at Tailspin Hobbies. Sorry for bumping the mic here, but I got a scratch. Thomas, yes, I agree. Hey, thanks, Mario. Yeah, this is a cheap wireless mic system from a company called Boya. Not super high quality gear, but it does the job. It gives me a wireless system. This wireless system was $250. It gives me came with two transmitters. Here's the one transmitter I got in my pocket, and then one receiver, so I can walk around anywhere within about 250 feet, and I can do yeah, do videos. Um, yeah, MP. It's nice to sound really gives just like because I mean you've worked on your light, which I have a feeling you use a ring light, but your videos are really nicely lit, and that's something that I think a lot of people really could focus on, and it doesn't really cost a lot to get a mic, even a wired mic, a lav mic. They're called the lavalier mic. And anyway, so it's an easy way to improve your stream is to have a wired mic. You can get a wired mic for very cheap. I have a wired mic. It's actually right here, hanging on my light post, on my studio stand. This a wireless mic or a wired mic with a 20-foot cord, and it was $20. It's super cheap, and it's the same brand of mic that I'm using here. And hey, JM, thank you very much for sending me a tip. I really appreciate that. In the description under the video or under the chat here, you can see, or you will be able to see anyway, my if you want to give me some extra support, the buy me a coffee. Nope, it's not there. Hold on. But buy me a coffee thing. It's not, it's just a way of sending me a tip. If you wanted to, tips are greatly appreciated. As you know, I've spent a fair amount of money and time on the stream, and yeah. Anyway, holy cow, 106, 107 people. Thank you all very much. Wow. Plofit motor. yeah, Mock. Plofit motor. Not on my track, man. Maybe at 4 volts with your Plofit motor. I don't think so. No, thank you. Take the magnet out of the Apollo car. I did a project, Apollo car project car. I think it's actually here. Maybe. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know where it got to. I did a project car that was a Apollo car. It was one of the blue. It was the blue set car, the car that came in the drift set, which is where I started with my track. And I take the magnet out of nearly every car that I actually race. I've only left the magnets in, like this car. I just literally took it out of the box right before I started the stream. And I'm a non-mag racer, so I don't race or enjoy magnets really. Although with some cars it does make sense, like the Formula E car and Formula One slot cars. I think it makes sense because that's really how they corner. They don't really slide until they go out, go everywhere. Are magnets worse at low voltage? So I don't want to say better or worse because they're just different. Okay, so magnets will slow down a car, and yes, at low voltage, because the car is already not moving very fast, it may be a little slower, but the car will go around a corner, really, really quickly. So like on the straightaway, the car might be a little slower, but in the corners, it might pick up the speed that it would have lost. That makes sense. Yeah. So magnets, yes. Blue Goo says, cheers, Fry. Cheers. Magnets are a real drag. Yeah, I see what you did there, Jonathan. So magnets, I mean, I don't want to say I personally don't race with magnets, and a lot of people get probably too like upset when I say I don't race with magnets, because if you want to race with them, I really don't care. I don't want to race with them. That's all I'm saying. And if you enjoy racing with magnets and that keeps you racing slot cars, that's fantastic with me. Max says he raced his old Lancia today. Great slot car. Yeah, I'm sure. The old Ninco stuff. There's a lot of really great cars that Ninco made. One of my favorite slot cars is the 356 Porsche that I kind of resculpted the body on. I did some, not really body work, but it's a slow car with an NC1. So what are they? 14,000 RPM motor. One of the best slot car motors ever made, as far as I'm concerned. And in the heyday of slot cars, most in the 60s, most motors were really slow. They didn't get faster until the hobby started to kind of go down. At its peak, I would say that motors started to really get fast, much faster than your average home set car. But old kind of Pitman motors, open frame motors that are super slow, super smooth, really heavy, like the weight on them is super heavy. Not a lot of brakes, but they're just a total pleasure to drive. Those original slot cars from the 60s, just an absolute joy. And why? Because they're slow, because they're smooth, because they're heavy. They have the trifecta of goodness. So anyway, Adrian, so easy way to cheat with magnets. Yes. The model of the 356 was the blue Ninco Sebring car. I think it was number 119 or number 114, something like that. I repainted it silver and resculpted the body. I did a whole lot of body work. It's out in my office. I'm out of my garage, so I can't. It'd be too long for me to go find the car. I'm not exactly sure where it is. Yes, Adrian. So I started my career in slot cars for Technotoys, which is a company that made SCX for a number of years, SCX slot cars for a number of years. I from like 2008, 2007, I forget exactly when I was consulting for them for about 6 months before they gave me a real job offer, and I started full time, I think, in 2008. And then until 2010, I worked for them full time. And then 2010 to 2017, so about 7 years, a little more than, whatever. I worked for Carrera, and then in 2018, I got hired by Hornby, and I was U.S. brand manager for Hornby America, or for Hornby. And one of the things we made other things like plastic models and Corgi diecast and home roll paint. We also made Scalextric. So yes, so I've worked for 3 companies full time, and now I'm consulting again for the family that owns SCX. It's a different company now. It's kind of hard to explain. And I also consult for LEB Hobbies, who's a large dealer and distributor here in the U.S. And I also consult for Polycar and Slot It. Slot It, Polycar are the same companies. So, and I do social media for them, and I do social media for them. I manage their Facebook page, and I'm the only one. I started their Instagram account, the Slot It /Polycar account, or dash. Policar account. I manage that for them pretty much entirely. So if you like those photos, those are mostly my photos there. And then LEB's page, I also I manage her social media as well. I'm going to be doing some more different things for SCX. I'm hoping that they start more social media. I'll just say that. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, and now I work for, I was a photographer until about 2008 for newspapers. I worked in New York City and in San Francisco, and then here in central Pennsylvania. That's where I started my career. And my wife and I moved around a lot. Shot mainly pro sports in New York City and in San Francisco. I worked at the San Francisco Examiner. So anyway, so I covered pro sports and national events, that sort of things, while I was a photographer. And now I'm working at the newspaper I started out here in central Pennsylvania. If people haven't gotten bored by my impromptu resume there, I'm sorry. Anyway, yes, Mario. Yes, we met. Mario Baskin points out in 2007 we met in New York with Race with Gustavo. Yeah, Gustavo was great. He was a great guy. I don't know what happened to Gustavo. I lost contact with him, unfortunately. We raced in a musician space in New York City. It was a really, really small room, and it was an apartment building that had been turned into like little loft rooms, I guess you'd say, where musicians would practice. So it was really, really weird. I would go to, I would be shooting games at Madison Square Garden, and I would walk up directly north of the Garden to the building that we raced in with the Slot Car Club of New York. There was like 4 or 5 of us that raced there with the club, and Mario visited us. Mario Baskin, friend for a long time now, and Maurizio actually came to visit us with his son, and that was years and years ago. Before I started really doing slot car news, I was just a fan, just a hobbyist, and he came to race with us. He came to New York and stopped by and raced with us one night. Him and his son did, or well, Maurizio did. His son didn't race. He was too little at the time. I think he was probably maybe 6 or 8 at the time. I'm not really sure. He didn't speak English, though. They're Italian. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, you have Gustavo's number. Very cool. I might have to get a hold of him. That would be very cool. I live in central Pennsylvania, George. George asked that. Yes, George. If people know where the Little League World Series is held every year, that's where I live. I live near Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It's central Pennsylvania, kind of the middle of the state. And anyway, that's where I live and work. And my wife is from Pennsylvania. I was born in New York City. I've moved around a lot, as you can tell. I was born on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Anyway, folks, I really appreciate it. Anybody else here I missed? I'm going to... Okay, so Coffin Seller. Yes, so Coffin Seller asked, when is SCX coming back into the U.S.? They already have, to an extent. Electric Dreams does sell a very limited supply of SCX that's available to them. There's not really much that SCX made available. As we roll out, I consult for SCX now. As we roll out more products, as they roll out more products, and ideally I'm going to help them with that, or well, that's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to help them with that, help them do marketing, help them get the word out about the new products. They are back in the U.S. officially. They just don't, they're not going to go to a distributor model. They're going to go to a dealer model that's directly fulfilled from either Spain or more likely from China. So they will have more products available at more different dealers soon. But at the moment, the only place you can get it, I believe, is Electric Dreams. Mario, it would be cool to see Polakar do a lap timer of some sort, but I believe Smart Race Mark was on here from Smart Race. I have his app. The Smart Race app does do analog lap counting as well, lap timing. I will be. Holy crap, Neil! Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much. Okay, it looks like I've answered a couple of questions here. Okay, so folks, I'm going to end this here. It's been a little more an hour and 20 minutes. Holy crap. How was the Quakertown? JM asked me, how was the Quakertown Slot Car show? I don't know how that show is. I don't know that I've actually been to that show. Problem is, a lot of the time because I work the newspaper, I have kind of strange hours because I'm covering things at different times when they're like, I do a lot of sports photos for the paper and video for the paper. So I work on Saturdays. I have Sunday, Monday off. And so I don't really have a lot of time to travel on the weekends or go, because it's Quakertown's, I think, at least 2.5 hours away from me. So anyway, there you go. Hey, Michael, cheers. Thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. Yes, so Coffin Cellar, there will be more SCX content. I have all of their new releases right here. I've done a video about their cars. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. If you all want to support me, as a few folks have already done today, there's the link to send me a tip. If you want to, tips are not required or whatever. It really means a lot to folks that support me directly, because it definitely takes time to do this. Yes, Blue Goo. LEB is going to carry SCX, and Great Traditions is also, I believe, going to carry SCX. If you want to email LEB about it and encourage them, or just say, I'm excited, Dave mentioned it. They don't have it yet, so don't get upset if LEB doesn't have their SCX stuff now. I believe they're putting an order together. They'll have it. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. It really means a lot. It really, really does. Thanks to everybody that came by. We had over 100 people in the watching the stream today. Thank you, everybody, for giving me a thumbs up during the video today. There's been 70 people that gave me thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Really helps people see the content and helps YouTube choose to show it to people. So I really appreciate it. See you all again next week. I already have another couple pieces of news. I believe tomorrow I will be able to get the Scalextric 2022 pictures. As soon as I have those pictures, I'm going to wake up really early tomorrow, do a video. I probably will do, as soon as I have those pictures, I'm going to put them out, and see you all again soon. Time for me to go have some dinner.